Hello and welcome to the Accountant's Movie Review, where we sift through popular movies to find those accounting hidden gems within which other reviews have almost certainly left you without. Here we're going to continue on the story of Star Wars, a story set in an environment that is highly controlled, oppressive, and centrally regulated by the Empire. An environment which squashes freedom, enterprise, and the entrepreneurial spirit. Our protagonist, Han Solo, keeps these ideals alive by continuing to keep his small business afloat even in such an oppressive environment. Last time, this is where we left off on the balance sheet. He had 2,900 of cash. We've got the Millennium Falcon for 30,000 cash. We've got the Blaster on the books, 500. Total property, plant, and equipment, then 30,005, plus the current assets being the cash or the credits of 2,009 gives us total assets of 33,400. He then owes unearned revenue to old Ben here for a job that he took up. And he collected 2,000, but he has not yet earned it. Therefore, it is unearned until he does earn it. He also owes Jabba the Hutt 15,000 for a job that was not able to be completed. That gives us the total current liabilities, 17,000. The 33,400 minus the 17 means he's got capital at this time, 16,004. The 17 plus the 16,400 gives us the 33,400 total liabilities and equity equaling the total assets. While in the process of trying to complete his job in delivering the old man, the boy, the two droids to Alderaan, the Empire calls Han into their main bureaucratic office, appropriate named the Death Star, to discuss some regulatory violations. Will not be a good experience for Han. It's going to be kind of like visiting the IRS at this point. Once in the big gray bureaucratic building, much like a visit to the DMV, a visit to the Death Star includes a lot of confusion as to where to go and which line to stand in, the structure being as large as a small moon. There's a lot of sitting around trying to wait to see when your name will be called. And there's going to be a lot of discussion with different departments, of course, and each department telling you that they are not the correct department to be talking to when you're really just trying to get your ship to be allowed to leave the structure. Although the visit to the Death Star was not pleasant and it was a huge detour to the completion of his work in the small business, it wasn't all bad. He did get his ship to be released finally, and he did pick up a new job along the way, that job being a princess-saving job, and here he is negotiating the terms for the princess-saving job. The work basically being complete at this time, negotiating the terms to be paid at a later date. So we're going to record the income at this point. We're going to say he didn't get cash yet, but the job is complete for all intents and purposes. So we're going to record the receivable at this time at 20,000. We're going to say that there's a 20,000 job to complete this job. It's an IOU at this point because the job has been completed in that the princess is no longer in the Death Star at this point. And we're going to record the income being a credit down here to income here. So there's going to be our transaction for the princess saving job. So at this point, we've only got 2,900 in cash, but we think there's going to be 20,000 that is owed to Han at this point. He's still got the Millennium Falcon. He's got the Blaster. He's got the unearned revenue for Obi-Wan's job that he's got to complete that job still. Although he did go through the Alderaan system, it was blowing up, so it was very hard to land and complete the job by delivering them there. So not quite done with that one yet. Jabba the Hutt owes 15,000 for that one still. The equity is 16,500, and as of this point in time, we've got income of this 20,000 that we have earned at this point, although we have not yet received it, and we have the miscellaneous expense for the bounty hunter cleanup, giving us net income of the 19,000. Once they reach the rebel base, Han is able to collect on both jobs. Remember, that first job was for 17,000 total. He got 2,000 up front, and then he got the 15 once he reaches the destination here. And of course, the destination was to go to Alderaan, but once again, Alderaan had been destroyed, so we're going to say the job had been completed at this time. And then he's going to collect on the second job, the princess saving job, for the 20,000. So this is good. He's getting the cash at this point, and we're going to record this transaction. So we're going to say the cash is 35,000. And once again, that's going to be the 15 that was going to be collected on the job for old Ben. He already got paid the 2,000, now he's getting the rest of 15 and the 20,000 for the princess saving job at this point. Cash is going to go up to the 37,900. We're going to have to take the unearned income off the books because remember, we have this unearned income over here on the books representing the fact that he collected money way back in the beginning in the bar, but he had not yet earned it until this point in time, and therefore now he has earned it. So we're going to take that off the books. It's no longer a liability. It's now going to be income. We're also going to take the receivable off the books because we had this 20,000 we recorded for doing the work, but not having yet received it, and it was an IOU from the princess saving job, and so no longer have an IOU. People don't owe us any money at this time, and the difference here is going to be the income, the 17,000 is going to be the income down here. It's only the 17 because it's really only recording the income for the completion of the first job, the one for Old Ben. That's the one that had not yet been completed till it got to here. Even though he got 2,000 in the past, he didn't earn the whole 17 until he delivered them to where they wanted to go, and that's why he's got the 17 here. We're not recording the 20,000 at this point in time. We already recorded that prior because he had completed that job once the princess had been saved from the Death Star. So here's where we're at this point. We got the 37.9 of cash. We got the 30,000 Millennium Falcon. We got the blaster. We no longer have the 2,000 here, and we no longer have the AR owed to us, the 20. Still owes Jabba though, the 15. He's got equity of the 16.5, and what he's done during this time period, during the movie's time period, 37,000 of income has been earned, and he's only got the expense of the 100 for the dead bounty hunter, meaning he's got net income minus expenses, 36,900. Next, Han's going to spend some money to repair his Millennium Falcon here, it having taken on some damage while working the job. Also, the hyperdrive is always having some problems, so we're going to spend some money to fix up the ship. We're going to say that that's going to cost the 12,000 to fix it up, and we're going to spend the 12,000 that we got on that in order to fix up the Millennium Falcon. We're going to put that into repairs expense, even though it's fairly significant because it's going to be standard repairs rather than capitalizing it up here. And therefore, it's going to be an expense. We're going to call it Falcon Repair Expense, and that puts us here. So now we're down to 25.9 in cash. We've got the Millennium Falcon. We've got the blaster. We still owe Jabba 16.5, and then we still have the income 37,000, but now we've got another expense of the 12 and the 100 miscellaneous, the 37 minus the 12 minus 100, net income so far 24,900. Han then takes on one last job at the end of the movie. It's going to be an Empire Central Office Death Star destroying job. Because he lacked negotiation before taking this job, he only received a shiny gold medal for helping to destroy the oppressive Central Office of the Empire. But he does figure that it will also save him time in filling out paperwork in the future, because as we all know, except for the Empire, time is credits. So we'll record the medal on the books here. We're going to say that the medal is going to be the 250. We're going to put the 250 up top in the assets for the medal that has been received. And we're going to say that that's the income that was earned on it. So we're going to say income down here is going to be earned, bringing income up to 37,250. It is possible, of course, to get paid in something other than cash or credits in this case. And in this case, he got paid with the medal. So here's what we got at this time. We're going to put this into the financial statements and close it up here. So we're going to say that cash is now at 25,900. Receivables are back down to 0. He's got his shiny medal here that he has just earned. We put that up in to the current assets section because Han being Han, it's probably likely that that shiny medal will meet an intergalactic pawn shop at some time for some supplies or some other thing. So we've got that adds up to current assets of the 26,150. Then we've got the Millennium Falcon of 30,000. We've got the blaster 500. That adds up to the 30,005 property, plant, and equipment. The 26,150 assets and the 30,500 property, plant, and equipment give us total assets 56,650. Then, of course, we still owe Jabba the 15,000. The unearned revenue is now gone. And so that gives us current liabilities, 15,000. He now has, of course, the money to pay off the debt. He just needs to do that at this point. And that means that the 56,650 minus the 15 gives us the 41,650, and the 15,000 liabilities and the capital equals the total liabilities and equity, which matches the assets. Let's break this number down a bit by looking at the other statements, that statement being the income statement next. We've got the 37,250 here for the income that has been earned, the 17,000 for the original job with Old Ben, the 20,000 for the princess saving job that he had, and the 250 for destroying the Death Star. And then we have the expenses on the Falcon repairs, miscellaneous expense for the bounty hunter, adding up to 12,100. Income less the expenses gives us the 25,150. If we take a look at the equity section then, we have the 16.5, that's where he started at the beginning of the movie in terms of his assets minus his liabilities, his equity section. And then, of course, we have the net income that has been earned throughout that time period of the movie at this point. That gives us the ending capital, 41,650. That's the story that has been told about the business, backing up this number here on the balance sheet.